the mighty and resilient Merrimack River, carving through the communities of our great region. My name is Linda Lorden, proud president of Merrimack County Savings Bank, and like the river that serves as our namesake, we're a constant yet ever-changing presence. Because to us, it's bigger than banking. It's about powering communities and putting people first. It's about knowing where you came from and where you're going. That's Merrimack style. Visit us at themerrimack.com.
Hello and welcome to this week's Speak English with a British Accent show. If you love the British accent, then do take a look at my website learningbritishaccent.com, which has a ton of resources to help you develop an RP British accent sound. But let's get on with the show. Section 1. Happy Chinese New Year. Last Saturday was the start of the Chinese New Year. Now, I don't know about you, but over the past few years, I've started using the Chinese New Year date as my second chance for a fresh start to the year. A chance to reevaluate goals and progress 6 weeks or so from the 1st of January date. Too often, January is used to clear up past obligations and work through the December to-do list, whereas Chinese New Year offers that second chance to put a line under the previous year and move forward to exciting new beginnings. And it is also the new moon, so happy Lunar New Year to you too. Now, the new moon is a time to plan out your year ahead and write down your new moon wishes. This is the perfect time to set your sights on what you want to happen in the year and put your plans and wishes down in writing. They recommend to keep to a maximum number of 10 wishes and to make your wishes within 8 hours of the new moon. Well, we may have missed this particular window, but it still is a useful exercise. This month's wish themes include developing a plan and creating a vision for your life, breaking out of your ruts and habits that are keeping you stuck, and tapping into your personal needs and doing things differently in your life. So if you're thinking of developing your speaking and accent skills this year, you could include something like, I wish to be guided to helpful resources like interesting podcasts and entertaining audiobooks narrated by native British accent speakers. Or, I wish to develop an effortless habit of practicing my spoken English. And, I wish for my fear and hesitancy of speaking English in my RP British accent to be released. Whatever your New Year wishes are, I hope they come true and bring you lots and lots of joy. To help with your New Year's goal of speaking English with an RP British accent, you can get the 12-month subscription to my British Accent Bundle at a reduced price this week. So head on over to learningbritishaccent.com/bundle and select the 12-month option. Section 2. Election vocab. This is a massive year for elections, not just here in the UK, but around the world. According to Time magazine, globally, more voters than ever in history will head to the polls. At least 64 countries, plus the European Union, representing a combined population of about 49% of the people in the world, are meant to hold national elections in 2024. In preparation, let's go over some commonly used election vocab that you're going to become over-familiar with this year. But before I continue, I just want to highlight a difference in pronunciation I've begun to notice with the words poll and polling. Now, I've always pronounced it as thus, poll and polling, but I listen to a lot of political podcasts and have noticed an increasing use of the word poll, which sort of rhymes with doll instead of poll, and polling instead of polling. Now, I've checked on the Cambridge Dictionary, the Oxford Learners Dictionary and the Collins Dictionary, and they all use the pronunciation I do, which is poll or polling. But do you have a preference to the pronunciation? Which do you use? I'd be very interested to know. Anyway, so during the election coverage on the news, you might hear some of the following phrases and vocabulary words. What about these? Polling station. Polling station. This is a place where people can go to cast their vote in person. Polling day. Polling day. This is the day on which the election takes place. Ballot box. Ballot box. This is a container into which voters place their completed ballot papers. Constituency. Constituency. This is a geographical area that elects a representative to Parliament. Candidate. Candidate. This is a person who is running for a political office. Manifesto. Manifesto. This is a document that outlines a political party's policies and proposals. Exit poll. Exit poll. This is a survey of voters as they leave the polling station, which is used to predict the outcome of the election. ID. ID. This is short for identification. Postal vote. Postal vote. This is a vote by post rather than in person. Vote by proxy. Vote by proxy. This is a way to request that someone else cast your vote on your behalf. Electorate. Electorate. This is the group of people who are eligible to vote in a particular election. Electoral roll. Electoral roll. This is a list of people who are eligible to vote in a particular election. Ballot paper. Ballot paper. This is a document on which a voter marks their choice of candidate or party. Political party. Political party. This is an organised group of people who have similar ideas and goals and who work together to promote those ideas and goals. Election campaign. Election campaign. This is the period of time leading up to an election during which candidates and parties try to win support from voters. Voter turnout. Voter turnout. This is the percentage of eligible voters who actually cast their votes in an election. Hung Parliament. Hung Parliament. This is a situation in which no political party has an outright majority of seats in Parliament. Coalition government. Coalition government. This is a government in which two or more parties work together to form a majority. By-election. By-election. This is an election that is held to fill a vacancy in a particular parliamentary constituency. Conservative. Conservative. Labour. Labour. Liberal Democrats. Liberal Democrats. Green Party. Green Party. By familiarising yourself with these terms, you can follow the election coverage more closely and have a deeper understanding of the political landscape. If you get a chance to vote this year, please do take the opportunity. Can I just take a moment to break in here? You can get access to quizzes and members-only posts when you become a member of the British Accent Bundle at learningbritishaccent.com. And of course, you also get access to both the British Accent training courses. That's the RP British Accent Pronunciation course and the Ultimate RP British Accent Learning Resource. You can get all of this for under £7 per month. So if you select the yearly membership option at only £79, you can get immediate access to all these resources. So for less than £7 per month, you can make so much improvement to your speaking voice and gain so much confidence in your fluency and conversation skills. So why not gift yourself this opportunity? Section 3. Sentence starters. Sentence starters are words and phrases used to introduce a new topic or transition between ideas when speaking informally. While we may not think much about the subtle openings we use in casual conversation, these help discussions flow smoothly. I'd like to explore some of the most common conversational sentence starters and why using them effectively can level up your speaking skills. So what are sentence starters? Specifically, sentence starters refer to the opening words that come at the beginning of a new sentence when we speak conversationally. They indicate we're moving on to a new idea or another aspect of the discussion. For example, saying, "Actually," to introduce something contrary to what was just said, or "You see," to explain an idea further before continuing. By starting sentences this way, we cue the listener that a shift is coming in the dialogue without needing an awkward pause. Useful conversational sentence starters. Now here are some helpful sentence starters to incorporate naturally into casual discussion. Well. The ubiquitous well gently brings conversations back on theme, like, "Well, after seeing the state of my kitchen, I've decided to order takeout instead." "Well, regarding the book we just read, what did you think of the main character?" Well, to play devil's advocate, there are some benefits to that approach. Number 2, anyway. When it's needed, "Anyway, back to my original point," can get dialogue back on track. We stress the first syllable slightly. Anyway. Anyway, did you hear what happened to Mark yesterday? Anyway, what are you up to this weekend? Number 3, like. Like introduces casual examples before continuing a story. So, for example, "We were at the amusement park, like riding roller coasters and playing games." Number 4, you know. Prompt the listener's understanding or agreement by adding in "you know" every so often. Don't do it too much, though. Can often also be used at the end of the sentence, too. "You know, I actually used to be terrified of public speaking, but it has gotten much easier with practice." You know, sometimes you just have to trust that things will work out the way they should. You know, I've actually been thinking about trying a new hobby, like painting or photography. Number 5, so. So is useful for continuing a story or transitioning between thoughts. An example: "So after waiting in line for 30 minutes, we finally got on the roller coaster." And remember, it's a long O sound. So. "So what did you think of the movie overall?" Or, "So, as David was explaining earlier, the process involves 3 main steps." Or, "So anyway, Emily's birthday party is next Friday. Are you free?" Number 6, basically. Basically allows you to sum up an explanation or reinforce a key point. Basically, if we take this route, we'll make it to the next stop faster. Protein bars are tasty. Basically, they're just candy bars marked as health food. I wasn't a fan. Basically, the plot was boring and the characters lacked chemistry. Number 7, as I was saying. Bring the dialogue back to your previous train of thought with, "As I was saying before we got sidetracked, most reviewers rated it very highly. As I was saying earlier, sales have exceeded projections thanks to the marketing campaign. As I was saying before we were rudely interrupted, the book's ending left many questions unanswered." Number 8, I mean. Clarify a thought using "I mean." Like, "I thought the movie was enjoyable. I mean, some scenes did drag on, but overall it was good. It wasn't my favourite restaurant. I mean, the food was all right, but the service was terrible. London is a nice city to visit. I mean, as far as capital cities go." Why sentence starters matter. While subtle, these conversational openings helps discussions progress meaningfully while keeping an informal vibe. They allow the speaker to gather thoughts without needing rigid structure or unnatural pauses. In moderation, sentence starters give conversations an organic, friendly tone that puts both parties at ease. With a few go-to openings in your verbal toolkit, you can smoothly introduce new thoughts, check understanding, and redirect dialogue when needed. So next time you're chatting with friends, notice when they apply these useful sentence starters. You may be surprised just how much injected phrases like well, anyway, like, or you know, contribute to an easy flowing conversation. Section 4. Following on from the last segment on sentence starters, I've created a mini quiz to test your knowledge. Now, the full quiz is available to my British Accent Bundle members, and I'll put a link to the sample quiz in the show notes, but let's do the first few questions now. Are you ready? Then I'll begin. Question 1. Which sentence starter checks if the listener understands your point? Is it A, anyway, B, you know, C, I mean, D, like? Which sentence starter checks if the listener understands your point? A, anyway, B, you know, C, I mean, D, like? It's B, you know. You know? Number 2. What sentence starter transitions back to a previous topic after a digression? What sentence starter transitions back to a previous topic after a digression? Is it A, basically, B, as I was saying, C, well, D, I mean? So what sentence starter transitions back to a previous topic after a digression? Is it A, basically, B, as I was saying, C, well, or D, I mean? And if you said B, as I was saying, you'd be correct. Number 3. Which sentence starter introduces an example or comparison? Is it A, you know, B, anyway, C, like, D, so? So which sentence starter introduces an example or comparison? A, you know, B, anyway, C, like, D, so. Did you say like? You were right. Well done. Thanks for listening. Hope you have a great weekend, and don't forget to sign up to the British Accent Bundle for not 1, but 2 British accent courses. Go to learningbritishaccent.com/bundle, and I'll see you next week.